follow the proper channels to get this resolved. And I need to get a protest ruling, to move on with it.
I've never had one of these. I looked at it this weekend. Y'all want to have any more discussion with anyone? Over the issues?
What they do, the advertising in the papers, they're practicing all three, that's what they advertise. And to their opinion, they just felt cat was better equipped than what they've seen service from what they thought out the county garage.
Do you want to say anything else, Paul?
Yeah, I do. I realize everybody has their opinion on that. That's good, that's fine, and everything, but that's not the law. It states real simply in here that in the bid solicitation, you have to put the factors for choosing the equipment. If it's not in the bid solicitation, you can't use any factor such as that to pick somebody off, knock somebody off. And when we had the first meeting and the bids were accepted and entered into the record, you pretty much awarded it to me then. It was awarded then.
How do we do that?
When it's a real law. Because when you put it in, you said all of my specs met spec. For you to kick me out at that time was the only time you could have, and you had to have just cause to buy. When you're buying under a best value deal is what you're all using to make that determination. That can't happen. Like I said, it has to be in the spec for bid solicitation up front to disqualify anybody. And when it entered into court, I met spec. I met everything on the bid, every requirement. If you wanted to go in and say, we can't use a vendor that's more than 30 miles away from the county, that's fine. You can put that in. I can protest that, but you didn't. So you can't use something like that to kick out my bid. It has to be something that's in the advertisement for bid that you use. And there actually has to be a criteria point total system that handles that in the judgment level.
Either accept or reject this protest. It sounds to me like that you guys just need to, deal with the protest. The issues before is just he's protesting this bid. One thing, I don't think they've accepted your bid. The bids were open.
They were open
and then held
in court.
But they weren't accepted for the purposes, your bid wasn't
No,
approved.
that's not what I'm saying, but they were accepted as responsible.
Yes. Okay. Yes, they were accepted as responsible.
And that's, at that point, according to the law, then you go straight to criteria in the bid spec, in the request for bid proposals.
You guys need to vote. So either, if you vote to uphold this protest, you're voting against yourself. You know that. So I'm not saying to not do that. If you feel like you made a mistake, speak down.
Personally, I made a mistake.
But all right.
They feel they had the right for that choice on that bid, so they have got the bid, using it all bids.
You want to say anything else before they vote on?
No, not really. I think that, look at the laws on it and know what they think, because what they think really and you gotta go legally, and it pretty much tells you in here that you don't have the right to refuse. I mean, you don't want to read it. The only way you can refuse it is based on merit of the bid, and it has to be upfront. You have a copy of that, John?
I don't think so.
Let me bring you back.
I might have it. I'll put it wrong.
Now, John, just exactly what we asked to do here today, what we're talking about right now.
Might get done there. So Mike,
Yes.
the masters feel they made their choice of what we need to do with this. Of course,
Then, somebody needs to make a motion to deny the protest and have a vote.
motion to deny the protest. Motion made to Billy Master. I'll second. Second John Jay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
So, the last fiscal court, the compensating rate, it was way up. So, even though even though the compensating rate is going up, I think what is 17.2. Last year, what was it?
It's 17.2 last year, this year it's 17.4.
17.4. So even though the rate is going up, there's really nothing that we understand that you can do about that. You're not allowed, as we understand, to work on less revenue. The county's not allowed by law to work on less revenue than you did the year before. Now, if you wanted more money than what you had last year, you're allowed to take that 4% increase, which, I understand you're not wanting to do. But the lowest amount that you're allowed to take is that compensating rate. The way that I understand, now you can call the Department of Local Government and they can explain it. But the way that we understand, you're not allowed to take any lower than the compensating rate. The way we understand, you really don't have any choice. I mean, unless you wanted to raise it 4% above, that's about the only choice you have. Or the lowest you're allowed to have is the compensating rate. And even though it is going up, there's nothing you do. That's caused by the loss of revenue. And the loss of revenue this year is mainly because of oil, gas, and coal. The loss of it in the county. Just no mining being done because of no permits. Things like that.
Thank you. That's choice. So the motion to set the county tax rate for real estate tangible at the compensated rate of 17.4. Like I said, we don't really have much choice, so I'll make that motion to do it. Motion made by Earl Holmes. Second, Billy Master, all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carried.
I personally asked the library for an explanation of why they raised theirs 4%, and they wouldn't respond, and I found out that they don't have to. They don't have to tell you why they raise it. They can just raise it 4% every year from now on.
So the school board, is that right?
No, the school board, you don't have any control over that either.
That's what I'm saying, they can do what they want. Let me say something, John, we talked here a while ago about signing the lease for the extension office to build a building up there. And they're turning right around, putting a 4% increase on this. So basically, they say they're gonna do this for staff and taxpayers. Is what's doing this. It's not the extension office. And all that stuff, we can't just the last bit here. I just don't think that's right for them to charge a 4% increase and then say say, well, we're doing this within ourselves. And they're not doing it within themselves. They're doing it at taxpayers' expense.
Last year, long time. Just look at
See, that's the reason I was questioning on whether or not, why do they have to bring it to you all if it doesn't mean anything?
Because everybody wants to fall guy. Maybe the bad guy.
Mike, why don't you answer that? Why does all the taxing districts have to bring a copy and get it approved by the fiscal court if it doesn't mean anything anyway? I don't think that makes sense.
Well, I don't think that, like Chris said, I don't think the fiscal court's actually setting the rate. They are approving it for the purposes of printing the tax bills.
Well, we'll approve them. I mean, I think if they're gonna go up at all, they should all went up 0.2% instead of like the extension office going up. That building is not a necessary thing for taxpayers to have to fund right now, I don't know.
Morris, the library tax has gone up for 6 straight years with no explanation. 4%.
Hey, I'm for you. I'm a deep party man. I'm right here with you, but I mean.
We talk about when coal was taxed, and when coal tax and all this, when we lose all this, and then at the same time, we want to tax the people that's really losing more money than the districts and the counties.
How can, Chris, you're really good, how can they vary so wildly these other districts? Because 4%, a building 4%, okay, even if you took the 4% rate, which you're allowed to take a 4% increase, it would seem to me mathematically impossible that you could go from 14 cents to 20 cents. The public library, I'm just throwing it out as an example. Am I right? Real estate? No, I'm wrong. Okay.
One line's a tangible, right?
I see.
And one's a real estate.
Yeah.
They're going from 14 to 15.
14 to 15 4.
Before long, the library will get much savings.
And and then 20 cents on the tangible. It stayed the same. So if you own a home, you're going to pay more taxes, but if you go license your vehicle, it's going to cost you.
No, that tangible, Mike, is on companies. It's not on.
Oh, okay, it's not personal property, right?
That's a different rate for motor vehicle and water craft.